So second part of my design master thesis, that there's some design changes that Professor Sejima told me that the center part of the community area is better to be somehow more open space, uh, because the whole concept is coming from the present research of Aboriginal towns or the primitive society, that they have open space in the center where they can freely communicate each other. So the concept is same how traditional public buildings subdivide the public open space. There I actually divide more functional building mass. So there's marketplace, there is community center and visitor information center, where main entrance of the island, and there are also event places. Then the volumes again separated in order to create rich public pocket space. So in this case, we have more open pocket surface spaces that we can provide more uh, different experience of the space. And then here it becomes a public park, and here could be the allotment where the community people can enjoy the weekend at the allotment. And in the center, instead of having elevated the circulation, decide to make it more open space. Um, so these spaces, of course, it's affecting based on daylights, and this so these daylight um, over the year is very important to how I can propose for the landscape design of the final um, output. And then I decided to have higher position. It's kind of observation tower where everyone could enjoy the view of the island. So previously, central space where the navigation circulation is now moved to Good Island, where it could possibly connect to the main community center when low tide is. So the reason why I'm proposing high places is because we have instinct to climb up to some high places where which you can look down and survey yourself. The world seem to be a fundamental human instinct. So I kind of like to propose this sort of observation tower, where from this viewpoint, where the all the sightline from the major attraction of the island, the idea to create new symbol of the island also by providing this observation tower. That this tower can should be able to reach from every view major attractions of the island. So as you can see here, street view from the west, and this is the main Mebawi stones where it's famous on this island, and also this is street view from the village, and that's the street view from the west sand beach area, where now as you can see this high place where the observation tower is pretty much symbolize the community center from every perspective of the island. And to come up with the landscape, I I made a video Um, so let's see. So there is this space study where um, it's high tide, then the water is coming in, and I manipulate a little bit more by providing more pocket public space. Then when it's high tide, of course the circulation could be changed, and then the whole function of the landscape is changing because of the water level. And as you can see from this master plan, when it's low tide, does the public pocket surface has more exposed, and when it's high tide, then it creates different circulation which navigate people's movement towards more indoor space of the building, as you can see. And these the water circulation is circulated sometimes from the outside, and then it goes inside of the building, so you can have the entire the tides effect from your from this whole complex. So here is the community center, and that's visitor information center, and the event shop and marketplace, and then we have observation tower. And in the center is, as I said, it's a plaza where it's a networking between visitors and tourists. Sorry, local and tourists. So it's a bird eye view when it's low tide. As you can see, the surface of the seaside is exposed, and where people can walk around, and then also can have similar experience of the pathway towards the inland, and then where the visitors also experience the similar pathway on this from this complex to the observation tower. And now it's the high tide time, and as you can see, then the activity on seaside is changed, and of course their public pocket space becomes kind of swimming pool, or where the people now concentrate more on indoor space instead of the outside, depends upon their needs. This is the cut through showing the whole complex, and the idea is that wherever from each point of the landscape, the fluctuation of the spatial condition is rich, and then at the end they could enjoy whole view from the observation tower. So I'm going to explain now structural design concept of one of the typology here, which is community center and children's kindergarten, where the main basement is concrete structure, which is inevitable to avoid water exposed area, and then the whole above is lightweight steel and timber framing structure, where we can use local material of the wood, and also easy to construct and recycle for whole life cycle of the building. And the main structure is of course the steel framing with based on the concrete basement. And here we can see the deformation diagram with the structural proposal, and the big deformation you can detect from the platform here where the walkable space, but the maximum displacement is 0.3 centimeter, so it's not so critical. And I analyzed the daylighting analysis so that we can I can panelate the facade opening space, and based on this analysis I could use this data, informed data, to determine where the opening space of the facade. So at the end, I decide to provide some skylights, and also where the blue area is the open space to bring the daylight as much as I can. And then the detailed model here, as you can see, the shadings uh, hiding the shading elements, hiding the whole facade, and the major structures are timber structure, and the where the water levels would be protected by special finishes. And then I wanted to analyze the comfort zone by analyzing the wind, where it's island area and could be strong wind, and throughout the year the wind is in seaside it's very strong in this island area. So I analyzed the velocity of the area. Then I also analyzed from this building complex mass to see sun exposed hours, and the where summertime is really hot, but at the same time it has strong wind. So with this data, I could propose where to plant um, the height of the trees and vegetations. So as you can see here, where we have more wind pressure, higher wind pressure, that I propose the tall trees, and also comparison with the sun possible exposed sunlight area, I could plan different height of the vegetation for landscaping design. And this is the rendering of low tide time, where the foresail is exposed, and then the road towards the observation tower is opened, just same as the main driveway from inland towards the island. And that's the rendering of high tides time. Then the pathway towards observation tower is synced, so it's kind of memory of the driveway from inland towards the main entrance of the island. Um, Thank you very much for helping my master thesis, and we had really good fun. I appreciate all my helpers, and I wish we could collaborate one day in the future all together. So far, this is the my diploma presentation. Thanks for watching.